So welcome back to the Happiness series and today's 6 of part 2. Now, in looking at compassion or empathy or understanding, I think it's an area in which many people tend to think of as pure practical application rather than meditation. In fact, meditation some people will even sort of see as an escape from the world, perhaps denying our responsibilities to engage in a very practical way. But looking at that in a bigger context and from the very specific perspective of meditation, it's really important that we have a sense of calm and clarity in our own mind before we start trying to sort of interfere too much with other people's affairs, trying to help them out. It's very easy to get very passionate about things, very excitable about things, to rush into situations, trying to change them, to improve the situation for others, but without that being founded in a genuine sense of compassion. Again, it's perhaps a lot of ideas in our mind. Although the intention may be very good and maybe very noble, it could be sort of based on a certain amount of confusion, in so much as it's an idea which has been thought over and perhaps not necessarily thought through terribly well, and almost certainly not coming from that place within ourselves, which is not only compassionate in nature, but also very sort of clear and directed in nature. So it's really important to understand just where meditation sits within this idea of developing compassion. It's not something separate from it. It's something integral to it. It's something central to it. By stepping out of the world and everything that's going on in the world when we meditate, we allow the mind to reconnect with those qualities of calm, clarity, contentment in our own mind, so that we're then that much more able to apply ourselves in a very real way to the difficulties of others. So these two things aren't separate. Meditation, no matter what technique we're doing, enables us to be more compassionate in the world in which we live. So with that in mind, just take a moment or two. Remember, eyes open, nice soft focus, taking in the space around you in the room. Feet flat on the floor. And when you're ready, some nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, as you close the eyes, just feeling, experiencing the weight of the body as you start to check in with the different physical senses. And now just bringing the attention back to the body. Just starting to notice the physical sensations in the body, the reaction to those sensations, and also just the general mood that's around in the background as you observe those sensations. You're just starting to become a little bit more aware now of the overall intention of the meditation today. Really clear about who it is in your life who will benefit in addition to yourself. And now just allowing the attention, the focus, to shift back to the breath and that movement of the breath in the body, and just staying with that rising and falling sensation just for the next few minutes. So in your own time, bringing to mind that image in the middle of the body, and then just visualizing, imagining, watching as it expands outwards in every single direction. Just alleviating any difficulty, bringing a sense of relief to everyone and everything. And when it feels as though the visualization's got as big as it could possibly get, just letting go of that image, but in that space, just allowing the mind to be completely free. And now bringing the attention back to the body, back to that feeling of contact, of pressure, of weight in the body. Starting to become more aware of the different physical senses, more aware of the space around you as you just gently open the eyes again. Just enjoying that moment of having stopped, having paused. Aware of the benefits of maintaining that sense of awareness, of presence, softness of mind throughout the day. And when you've done that, you can just open your eyes if you haven't done already and sit back in the chair. Now that idea of softness of mind is really kind of quite central to the idea of compassion or of empathy. In many ways, because compassion is something innate to all of us, because it's something that we don't need to do or to create in any way, it's more about noticing what it is we do that gets in the way of it arising naturally, of us realizing its presence or being aware of it. So very often it is a mind which is agitated, a mind which is angry or frustrated or impatient, a mind which is feeling a certain amount of aversion to certain people, or perhaps a great deal of attachment to certain people, whatever it might be. But all of those things can kind of play their own part in creating the conditions where it's very difficult for the mind to be sort of soft and flexible and malleable, and in a place where it naturally experiences that feeling of empathy or compassion. So as you go through the day today, perhaps just without trying to change anything too much, just noticing when the mind is experiencing any of those things. And noticing what happens when you become aware that it's experiencing one of those things, how perhaps the intensity is taken out of it a little bit, and how the mind naturally becomes softer as a result. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 7 of part 2.